Okay, fine. So I started recording now, and now we will start our session. So first we will discuss like what all things we are going to cover, okay, and then we will discuss like what process, how we are going to cover all those things, and then third we have list of software. So today we will do all the setups. Okay, so today we will be more focused on prerequisite, and from next day, from coming Saturday, we will start our development activity. Okay. So today let's do all the prerequisite, all the setups, and we will be ready with everything. Okay. So here, so what all things we are going to cover here? So here we are going to cover one real-time scenario. So it will not be 100% real-time scenario, but I can say it's 95% real-time scenario. Okay. Means there will be something I will change, but it will be like 95% real-time scenario. Everything we will do how we do in project in Mulesoft development, how we follow approach and process, same thing we will do here. So in initial, like I will do everything. So I will develop couple of API, and then once we will complete this training, you will get enough confidence. So I will give you set of API, like I will provide you document and all, and then you will follow those document and you will develop API by yourself. So there will be two part. First part, I will develop a set of API, and another part I will give you set of API as assignment. Okay, so you need to develop, but during training session you don't need to go for new API. So whatever API I will develop on Saturday and Sunday, same thing you need to develop on your Monday to Friday. Okay, definitely my speed will be a bit faster compared to you. So whatever I will do in 2 days, you will take 3 or 4 days. You have to watch this video again and again, and you need to do it. But unless you will not do it, you will not go for hands-on experience, you will not able to learn process. Okay, so what I will say, you must need to follow everything what I am doing, and you must need to do everything in your system. Otherwise, if you will just follow video, you will able to understand everything, but when you will go on actual world, you will not able to do things properly. So here you need to follow my video and you need to do everything in your system, then only you will get a better understanding. During your, like when you will do in your system, you will face lots of challenge. You can ask during class, and whatever private WhatsApp group we have, you can ask there. So either I will answer or someone in this group who will complete that, they will answer you, and try to help each other. So while resolving doubts also, you will learn many things. Okay, so for me also, like I am working in Mulesoft, but while teaching also I learned a lot, like Jenkins and all. I was familiar with Jenkins and all. I was familiar with console, how to go and how to build and how to deploy. But during training session, I learned the process, like how to set up this Jenkins pipeline and all. So same way, like when you will help other person, definitely you will learn something. So whenever someone is posting any question and query, try to help them. Okay, and whatever scenario I am going to cover, that will be, as I mentioned, 95% real time. You can use in your resume, you can use in your interview. Okay, second, make use of Mulesoft out of box capabilities. So as I mentioned, Mulesoft is keep growing, and they are keep developing their tool, like they are keep adding new features. Okay, so here we have lots of out of box capabilities. Okay, and please try to avoid this during session. If someone, like everyone, try to join this session on time, so we will avoid this kind of disturbance. Otherwise I have to go, I have to accept. Okay, so as I mentioned, like we have too many out of box capability in Mulesoft. So for same activity, you will see, like for same activity also we will have different out of box option or capability. So you need to understand business scenario, and based on that you need to identify which out of box capability will be more efficient. Okay, so let's take one example for this. So for example, like we have one requirement, we need to develop one API. Okay, so our requirement is develop one REST API. Okay, in this REST API, like we will receive request. Okay, and then we need to call to external system. So this is external system 1, and we have another external system 2. Let's say we have 3 external system. And at the end we are storing all the indexed data inside database. Okay, so we received request here. Okay, now we have one option, like we can call this external system 1, we will get response and we will enrich data here, like whatever data we got in request, whatever response we got from here, we enrich that data. Okay, for example, here we got registration ID. Okay, so this registration ID we got, so we call this CRM system, this is Salesforce CRM system, and we got customer detail. Okay, so here now we have registration ID, we have customer details. Okay, now next, using same registration ID, we are calling one third-party API. So this is third-party API for like loyalty management. Okay, so from here we are getting customer point, customer loyalty detail, like how many points he has. For example, this one is banking app, and that customer has some loyalty points, like if he do any transaction with the help of credit card and debit card, then based on transaction amount he is getting some point, and that points are stored inside loyalty system, and this is third party system. So I call their system and I got their loyalty detail. Okay, so again I enriched this with this payload. Okay, so my payload is keep increasing, I am enriching data. Next I call this particular maybe another CRM, Salesforce only, we are calling Salesforce object only to get any other detail, let's say payment detail. Okay, how many payment he did. So this one, like we have payment object, we have inside that we have payment detail. Okay, and at the end we are getting all this detail, and for some analytics purpose, like this API, what it's doing, it's collecting all this detail and it's storing inside this database, and then we have some other team, they are using this data for some analytics purpose. Okay, so we have this API where we are calling this 3 system, and whatever data we are getting, we are storing in database, and business will use this data for some analytics purpose. So this is our requirement. So here we seem like we have one approach. So we are using different kind of connector, we are calling external system, and we are sending response back to database system. We are sending response to database system, we are storing those details. Let's assume this external call is taking 3 seconds. This external call is taking 5 seconds, and this external call is taking 5 seconds. Is there anyone else has this access to accept other people? Can anyone quickly check? Then you can accept. If not, let me know. This one you check, I think you should have. You can accept that person who is in lobby. Okay, you already accepted. Okay, someone raised hand, that's why we are getting this notification. Okay, if anyone has any query, then yeah, let me know quickly. I can see Gayatri and Hema, you have raised your hand. So do you have any query? You can unmute yourself and no. Okay, then you can drop your hand. I think I can see you have raised your hand. I'm not sure why I was getting that notification. I thought someone is joining. Okay, 1 minute. So okay, so Gayatri, maybe there may be some internet problem for your side. Okay, otherwise it should be problem for everyone, but only you are facing this, so most probably there is internet problem from your side. Check it. So here we develop this API. Okay, so technically there is no problem. This is a valid development and we completed our development. Now same requirement we have, and what I did, so here I got request and we have external system 1, we have external system 2, and we have external system 3. Instead of calling this external system in sequence, what we did in earlier example, what I am doing, I am calling this external system parallelly. So here I started 3 parallel branch. Okay, instead of doing it sequentially, I started 3 parallel branch. So first place I am calling this, I am getting response back from here. In second place I am calling this and I am getting response back from here. And third place I am calling this and I am getting response back here. Since what I observed, this all 3 external call are independent of each other. So we are not, these 3 call are not dependent of each other. If these are independent of each other, why I will make sequential call? Why not we should go with parallel call? Okay. So for this, Mulesoft has one out-of-box capability, that is scatter and gather. Scatter and gather. Okay. So here we will understand in which scenario we should use which out-of-box capability.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we need to understand in which scenario we should use which out-of-box capability and which will give you better performance. Same way we have another, let's take another scenario. So let's say we have here 1000 record. Okay, so we in request we are getting 1000 record and our Mule API is here. So we are getting this 1000 record from database or maybe file. Okay, and at the end we want to process in file. So now we got this 1000 record and we want to do processing of each record and then we want to store in file. Okay, so what we can do here, either we will process these 1000 record one by one. So first one record, then second, then third, then fourth, like this we will process all the record one by one and then we will place it into file. So this will be one approach. Second approach, what we can do, now instead of calling it one by one, what we will do, we will define a batch like 5 record. So what we will do, we will process 5 record in one go, second time 6, 7, next 5 record, next time we will process next 5 record. So we will process 5 record at a time in parallel. Okay, so in this case, if let's say processing of one record is taking 10 millisecond, then processing of 100 record will take 1000 record will take 1000 into 10, like it's 10 seconds. But here it's processing 5 record at a time. Okay, so it will be 200. So it need 200 into 10, like 2 seconds only, and then it will write to file system. So which one is better? This one is better. So here we are doing iteration, but we are doing we are processing each record, but we are processing one by one. Here we are processing record in a batch. Okay, so here to perform this we have batch processing, we have parallel for each. Okay, so you need to understand what component we should use at which place to make your API performance better. Okay, but here it's not like always if we will use batch processing or parallel for each, then only we will able to make our API better. Or so here I think everyone gone. Okay, so everyone go on. Hello. So here it's not like always if we will use this batch processing or parallel for each, then only our API performance will be better, or we should have only this component. There may be some scenario where this for each will be required, where you can't use this parallel for each or batch processing. So is there anyone who can answer me we should go can you give me one scenario where we should go with for each instead of this parallel for each or batch processing? So in batch processing and parallel for each, we can process a group of record at a time, and this will be multi-threaded. Okay, that advantage we have. But still, is there will be any scenario where we should avoid this batch processing and parallel for each? We must need to go with for each only.
Hi Ravi, I believe might be where our end system is looking for a sequence of operation.
Yes.
So the for each should give you the sequence of.
Yes, correct.
Should be in sequence other than contents.
Yes, correct. So this one is perfect answer. So whenever we have requirement, when we want to process record in the same sequence, what we are getting. In case of parallel for each and batch processing, what will happen? It will not process since parallel processing will start. So you don't know which record will be processed first and which one will be processed second. But here in for each, you will process in the same order what we are getting. So it will process first record until unless it will not complete the processing, it will not take second record. But here 5 record running here, 5 record running here, 5 record running here. So first record will complete its processing, 6 will complete, 12 will complete. Then second 7 and 12 will come. So we don't know who will complete this processing first and who will complete last. So there may be some scenario where few component which is not giving better performance, but we are bound to use that component. Okay, so that will be our this for each component. We have to think. We have many out-of-box capability. You need to think which component is best used or which component we should use. Is it clear to everyone?
Ravi, I have a doubt. Batch processing and parallel for each, both will process the records parallelly, right?
Yes, correct.
What is the difference between this?
Okay, so in case of batch processing, you have some limited extent to extend your number of thread, like how many concurrent thread will be there. Okay, that will be decided by your worker capacity or your vcode capability. That will be decided by that vcode and worker. But in parallel for each, you can define how many parallel processing you want to do. Okay, so number of concurrent user or concurrent thread you can define. In another place, batch processing has very good advantage that you can do like batch processing support error handling also. If you have like you are thinking whenever you will process record there may be some record failure or something may happen, in that case batch processing provide lots of capability or lots of functionality to handle error scenario. If you have like if you are thinking there will be an error scenario, then you must need to go with batch processing. And if you think like you want to process as many record as you can do at a time, then you should go with parallel for each. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So here third point also we covered, include previous best practice experience when coming out with this solution. Okay, now make use of design center to create RAML. So like till this point like we were discussing about what approach we should select, and now from here development will start. So for development, whenever you develop any REST API, so you should start with RAML development. Okay, and now what is RAML? So RAML is nothing but it's a skeleton of your API. So whenever you go for development of your home, so first what you do, you create one map for your home, you take permission from municipality. If they approve your map, then only you go for development your home. You go for like you develop your home. Same way, whenever you want to develop any REST API, so RAML will be your skeleton of your API. It will tell behavior of your API, like what will be request, what will be response, what will be underlying data type, what will be resource name, everything. Like resource name you can say home address, resource name treats like home address. Okay, so everything it will tell like behavior of your API, RAML will tell. So as I mentioned, it contains 4 major component. One is resource, that will tell that is similar to your home address. Okay, second thing will be request and response, so it will be like input and output of your home, what like entry gate or exit gate, and you can say like who all can enter. Okay, and then next we have this underlying data type, so it will tell you like what kind of data type your API can support. Okay, these all are major component of your RAML. You must need to define resource, input, output, and underlying data type. And in general, like it will tell you behavior of your API. Again, security also you can define inside RAML, like what kind of security and policy you are going to apply in your API. Just give me 1 minute, someone is calling. I'm not sure he is from this training or he's facing some problem. Just let me quickly check. Okay, fine. Then make use of design center to create. Okay, that we already covered. Now in RAML also, like whenever we develop RAML, it's not only like we should simply go and we should start developing RAML and everything put in one place. So always we should follow some best practices whenever you want to develop your RAML. So your best practices will be in RAML, like for multiple application you will create multiple RAML file. So you should try to identify what all components you are using in multiple RAML. So instead of creating those components inside RAML, we can create outside of RAML in some common place and we can use everywhere. Okay, let me explain through diagram. So here, for example, we have 3 API. We have customer API, okay, we have payment API, we have loyalty API. Okay, so we have 3 API. Here also we are defining some header likes we are defining authorization header, we are defining client ID, client secret, okay, then we are defining transaction ID, okay. So we are defining this 4 header. Same header we are defining here also and here also, okay. So inside RAML also we can define this component as a reusable component, since inside this customer API also we will customer application also we will have multiple resources which will contain same set of header. So we can create reusable component inside RAML also, that will be traits, but that reusable component will be used inside that RAML. So if you think that reusable component will be used within that RAML only, then you can define that reusable component inside that RAML. But if you think that reusable component is not only used inside your RAML, not only reused inside your RAML, it will be reused by multiple other RAML also, then in that case we have one common place, that is fragment. So that is known as fragment. So similar to fragment, similar to RAML, you can create fragment also, and whatever reusable component you have at this place, put everything inside this, and wherever you want, here, 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 you can use everywhere. So here we will see, we will create RAML and we will follow all the best practice of RAML, like we will create traits, we will create data type, we will create example, and then we will refer everything and we will reuse on multiple places. Okay, so you must need to follow all this best practice whenever you are going to develop. Without following best practice, definitely your API will work. Technically there will not be any problem, but in terms of maintenance, in terms of like development effort, there will be huge impact, like there will be huge difference. Okay, so always you should follow this best practice. Then organize and create the Mule project based on the business scenario solution described in the document. So before going to development, we must need to have this functional design document or technical design document, and based on that, like in that document we will put all the details, and based on those details we will do our development. Create Mule message flow making use of Mule component and connector. So now, what is Mule component and what is Mule component connectors? So Mule component, like these are out-of-box capabilities of Mulesoft, with the help of which we can achieve our business requirement. So for example, for each, parallel for each, we have different kind of scopes, we have set variable, set payload, all these are Mule component. Okay, and with the help of this component you can achieve some business requirement. And connector, these connectors are used to connect with external system. For example, you want to connect with Salesforce system, then you have to use Salesforce connector. If you want to connect with database, then you need to use database connector. If you want to use JMS system, then you have to use JMS connector. So like this, we have 200 plus connector in Mulesoft. Okay, now if like it's not possible for everyone to work on all 200 connector. Like I have almost like 8 years of experience in IT, in integration itself, not in IT. Actually I started with integration only, like I started my career with integration technology like SOA, OSB, BPL, and then I slowly moved in Mulesoft. But till this point, if I can remember, mostly I use 10 to 15 connector. I have worked on Salesforce, then database, file, FTP, SFTP, JMS, object, blob storage, Azure blob storage connector, Azure data lake, I worked on Redis connector, then Amazon S3 connector. So then HTTP connector I worked, object store I worked. Like this, I can remember, like I have worked on maximum 15 connector. But here we have 200 connector. So you will think how, like definitely wherever you will go, you will get a chance to learn one or two new connector. So for that, actually, if you are getting new requirement where you have to use new connector, then Mulesoft has created their exchange where you will get detailed documentation of each connector, and they will give you more detail like who has developed that connector. So some connectors are developed by Mulesoft and some connectors are developed by third party. Okay. Be careful here if you are going to use any third party connector. If there will be any issue with the third party connector, then Mulesoft support team will not help you. Okay. Then in that case you need to connect with the third party system. For example, you will use any third party connector and that is not meeting your requirement, what exactly you are looking for. And if you want to improve that thing, or something is failing which is not working as per expectation, so in that case you need to connect with those third party and they may charge some amount. I'm not sure on this part, but Mulesoft will not support. I have faced this kind of experience since when I worked for some connector, it was not supporting what I was expecting. When I raised ticket to Mulesoft support team, they told we will not able to help on this case. So on exchange you will able to identify which all connector are developed by Mulesoft and which all connector are developed by this third party. But most of the commonly used connector like file, FTP, SFTP, database, JMS, like this, all these connector are developed by Mulesoft and they will support you if there will be any bug or anything. Okay, fine. Till this point everything is good. If anyone has any query, then you can ask.
Ravi, any example for the third party connector?
Okay, so I worked on this Azure Blob Storage and Azure Data Lake connector. These all are third party connector. And here we are facing I faced one problem and the Mulesoft team is saying they will not able to help on this. So we are looking for some alternate option.
Okay, thanks.
So like this we have, I think, too many connector. It's not only 1-2 connector. Out of 200 connector, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but more than 50 plus connector will be there, which is provided by third party. And I heard this thing also. So mostly Mulesoft charge based on this vCore, like how many vCore license you will take. They will charge on vCore, but there are few connectors. If you want to use that connector, then also you need to pay them. Okay, but that connectors are very rarely, since this concept of charging charge concept based on connector, this one follow Delbumi. If you take Delbumi license, they will charge you based on connector, no matter how many vCore, how many CPU you are going to use. They will not take care of that. But how many connectors you will use, they will charge based on that connector. But Mulesoft charge based on vCores, how many vCores we are going to use.
Ravi, does the price? Hello, Ravi.
Yes.
Yeah, does the pricing apply to on-prem implementations as well?
Yeah, for all deployment model, they have different costing, but they charge based on vCore.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Ravi, I have a doubt. Like in Studio, we can see directly create the flows, right? What is the need in creating grammar? Like how it helps more?
Okay, so as I mentioned, like whenever you create your home, so you create map. Okay, then you go for your development of home. You take approval first, then you go for development of home. Same way RAML help. Actually, it's not your implementation, actual implementation. It's a just kind of documentation which will tell behavior of your API. But whoever like given you requirement at the initial level only, he can validate what they are looking, means what is his expectation, you are meeting their expectation or not. For example, if you will develop your home and then you will ask homeowner, okay, go and check everything is fine or not. If he will say no, I don't want window at this place, I want at this place, then it will be very difficult for you to change that window place. Okay, same way RAML do. So they will validate everything, input output. Like in input they are expecting first name and last name, they don't want name in one place. So if you will, without creating RAML, you implemented everything based on name, and then later on he came, BA person came and he told your API should accept first name and last name instead of name. Then what you will do, everywhere you have to, like wherever you have you written some logic on name, you have to change everywhere. That will be time consuming process, that will take lots of effort. But if you will create RAML at the beginning, he will validate, okay, I am expecting first name and last name in my request, and this will be my response, everything as per my expectation. Now you go for development. So definitely that approach will be good when you are creating initial document, you are taking approval, and then you go for actual implementation.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
Okay, fine then. So we are done till this part. Now create Mule message flow. So as I mentioned, like whenever you go for development, so first you need to create message flow. Okay, so let me open Endpoint Studio. Anyhow, I will help everyone to install this software. I think most of you are familiar with this software, but still, like, I'm just creating one demo. So okay, so here you can see, like whenever you will create one Mule application, so if you will create a Mule application with the help of RAML, then it will create basic skeleton of your development. It will create one flow and it will create basic skeleton. But if you are creating any API without using RAML, then you have to do everything from scratch. I think maybe someone asked, maybe that was their intention, like, so yes, like if you will create your API with the help of RAML, then it will create basic skeleton of your API, and then rest of the development you have to do. But here I created API without using RAML, so you will get one fresh project, nothing will be here, so you need to do everything. Now inside this implementation part, if you want to do anything, first you need to create flow or subflow or private flow. Okay, so in Mulesoft we have flow, we have subflow, and we actually in private flow is just for namesake, it's flow only, but if it will not have any source, then it will call as private flow. And here one thing, my expectation is like my understanding is here, everyone know basic of Mulesoft. Okay, is there anyone who is completely new in Mulesoft, he don't know anything?
Yeah, I just joined last week.
You are Lakshmi?
Hema.
Okay. Oh, okay. So for you, means once development will start, at that time you will complete that training, so you will have that enough knowledge to understand this. But for other, is there anyone like who are directly coming for project without going training session? Okay, if anyone is there, then let me know. I will suggest you something, since here I am not going to train for each and every component. We will be most focused on project. During project, whatever component we will require, I will explain everything. But remaining component, if you want to learn, then you have to go with training process. Okay, so here we have flow, we have subflow. So this, whenever you want to do anything in your Mule application, first you need to define this flow or subflow, then only you will able to use any component. Okay, so these two are scopes where you configure all the Mule components. Same way, this error handler is scope for error handling. So whenever you want to define any error handling component, you have to configure this error handler first. Okay, so that part only we are saying here. So create Mule message flow making use of Mule component and connector. Implement a solution based on the scenario specified given in the document. Okay, so that we will see. We will follow document and we will do development. Then once you will complete your development, we will go for MUnit. So MUnit is a testing framework by which you can automate your testing in Mulesoft. It's a very similar to JUnit, like how we use JUnit to automate our Java code. Same way we write MUnit to automate our Mulesoft code. Not only you will automate your testing here, it gives you information about code coverage and all. Okay, so previously, like in Mulesoft, we are writing MUnit manually, but now from 4.3 we have MUnit recorder. With the help of MUnit recorder, you can record your test cases and it will minimize your effort. Okay, now
on this one,
your voice is very low.
How about now?
Yeah, now better.
Can you hear me? Okay. When you write MUnit, do you write as you write at the end, like after you finish your flow?
Actually, your voice is breaking. I'm not sure it's only for me or for everyone, but yeah, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, voice is very low.
Very low, not audible properly.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
I was just asking, like, if the MUnit is then at the end of, like, working on your flow, or as you work on your flow, you do also your MUnit. What is the best practice?
Okay, yeah, definitely. Like we should do MUnit. Actually, see, here we have two things. Everything has some advantage and disadvantage. Like MUnit will take some development effort, but it will automate your testing process. If you will do any change in future, with the help of MUnit, you can validate it's not breaking your existing functionality. Okay, so you don't need to test everything manually. But disadvantage is there, it takes development effort. You have to do development of your MUnit. So I have seen couple of projects where they are not using MUnit strictly. Okay, and I have seen couple of projects where they are strictly following this MUnit. So in MUnit also, like wherever you will do MUnit, there will be some code coverage percentage, like 90%, 80%, 85%. Okay, so we need to see like how much code coverage like your project looking for. So based on that, you need to write MUnit script. Okay, so as I mentioned, like we have two-way, manual or like recording one. But MUnit recorder, like it will give you lots of flexibility. Like it will record your test script and it will auto generate your test script. It will take very less time, but it has some limitation. Like you can't handle or you can't write MUnit for error scenario. Okay, so you can't write MUnit for error scenario with the help of MUnit recorder. But all the success scenario, you can use MUnit recorder and you can automate this process very easily, and it will take very less effort. And as I mentioned, like 80% project, they are following this MUnit, and they used to follow code coverage from 80 to 95%. Okay, so code coverage means like how many components you have covered during your MUnit. Okay, and many projects will be there where they write CI/CD script in such a way, if your MUnit will not cover 80% or 90% of coverage, your build itself will fail. You will not able to build your code successfully, and you will not able to deploy your code unless it will not meet that requirement. Okay, so yeah, with the help of like during development, you need to learn this MUnit also. Again, it's a separate component of development, so you need to understand what all like components are there and what is the use of each component. So here also in this training also we will cover MUnit. So if you have knowledge, then well and good, otherwise you will learn here. But MUnit part I will take only basic one. I will not take very in-depth or very too many things. Here development part I will take in depth, error handling I will take in depth, deployment and everything. MUnit also I will try to take as much as I can, but in MUnit also it's like itself is a big topic, so you need to understand separately. Okay, same way in DataWeave also we will learn DataWeave as much as we required. We will not learn all the DataWeave here. Okay, so DataWeave also it's like an individual scripting language. It has many functionality or many things. Like DataWeave itself will take, if you will spend daily 2 to 3 hours, then DataWeave itself will take 1 month to complete entire concept. So that you need to start learning separately if you want to make your career in Mulesoft. Okay, fine. So here not only we will do MUnit, we will do unit testing also, we will do integration testing also, and at the end we will do performance testing also with the help of JMeter. Like all these are not part of like API developer, but still like I will try to take as much as I can. So all this kind of testing we will do. Okay, so next whenever we will complete our development, so we will use Postman or SOAP UI to test our API. So here in Mulesoft, whenever you will develop API, mostly you will develop REST API. So mostly we will use Postman. So with the help of Postman we will test all the API. Now demo the working example. So once we will complete everything, then we will like demo out this entire application. It's working as per our business requirement or not, and we'll try to extend this application on real time. So we'll deploy on Cloud Hub, so everyone will able to test this API. We will apply security and all, so only valid user or authenticate user will able to test our API on Cloud Hub. Okay, so this all we are going to cover in this particular real-time project. If you have any other expectation, or if you if you are not clear with anything, let me know. We will discuss and then we will move for next topic.
Just one more clarification. So with the visualization and things like that, the basic subscription doesn't have that capability, right? So how are we going to do that?
Yeah, that endpoint visualizer we will not able to see here. So we will able to see everything what we have in basic subscription. Deployment and all we will see. Policy, security we will see. Like VPC, load balancer, endpoint visualizer, these things we will not able to see. Theoretically we will discuss, but practically you will not able to see. Okay, fine then. So if everyone clear till this point, then let's move for next topic. Anyone has any query? It seems no. Okay, let me break this recording also.